I'm out here this morning. It's the day after rain. Yesterday it pretty much rained all day, which I was so happy for. We ended up getting, oh, I forgot to turn off the hose. Why am I like this? Thank God it was only like 30 minutes. Okay. Turning off the hose to the cow's water. Ooh, maybe, okay, got it. I wanted to show you Miss Honey is looking very beautiful today. We ended up having to put some hay out, which I didn't want to have to do, but obviously the condition of my animals is more important than the idea I had in my brain of how this summer was going to go. And honestly, nothing this summer is going how I wanted it to go. We were in a drought for a very long time. And finally it's breaking, thank goodness, for my plants and my pasture, my animals. It's just, and I've been rotating them like I wanted to, but the pasture was just not growing back in the time that I needed it to feed these animals. And I don't know if you've ever had dairy animals before, but she eats so much, so much. And so she wasn't getting enough grass and forage and things, because the grass was not growing back because it was not raining like it should be. So we had to throw out a hay bale, which is no big deal. We have a hay field, a very large hay field actually. So we have hay. Our friends hay it for us, and in exchange they keep most of it and we take what we need, which is perfectly fine because we are not in the means to buy haying equipment right now. And they're just lounging in it. Oh, good cough. But she's looking so beautiful. Still no signs of heat. My anxiety is like, she's not pregnant. But she is. I keep staring because she's about 2 months before her due date. I just want to see that baby move inside. That will really let me know she's pregnant. I have stress dreams about her not being pregnant or her giving birth to a dead calf. It's like almost like I'm pregnant. I just want everything to be happy and healthy. I'm very happy about Miss Honey's condition right now. Just in the couple days that we've had this hay bale out here, she is really like thickened up, because we put it out here because I was just, I don't know, I'm always worried about her. I obviously know that Jerseys are skinny, but I'm always worried that she looks too skinny and then she's growing the baby, so I need her to have lots of food. That's what I'm worried about, her nutrition, growing that little baby inside of her, because I've been pregnant twice and you're hungry. So when we had her artificially inseminated because we don't have a bull, and also our fences weren't good enough to bring somebody else's bull here. I would be nervous that he would, I don't know. The responsibility of having somebody else's cow here is just scary. Or dropping yours off, it's like your child. Like, what if something happened to her while she was not here? But we had her AI'd with sexed semen for, it's supposed to be a Jersey heifer, but it's never 100% anyway. But I'm really hoping it is. The pigs are singing their breakfast song, so maybe I should stop chatting and feed them. I'm gonna look at the pond while I'm back here too, because the rock guy that was gonna bring the sand and the rock, and he has this like special shooter thing that he's gonna shoot the rock down in the bottom. His truck has been broken, so that's what we're waiting on to finish the pond. But we were gonna get another couple loads of water because the water has risen a lot actually from the rain, but it needs to be over where those floaties are, because that is, so it needs to be like a few feet higher. So we're still gonna need water, but we got some more water from the rain. Now we get to come to the garden and check out how happy all the plants are. That's the best part. Everything is looking good in here. Everything looks like it's grown, especially the weeds. There's always weeds to pull, but I'm honestly not even that stressed out about it. I'm actually not stressed out about it at all. The plants are growing fine. It's just aesthetically it's annoying because weeds. But my squash are finally getting squash on them. Like, they've been flowering for at least 3 weeks, but all of the flowers have been male. Like, I keep checking and I'm like, what is wrong with you guys? But we're finally getting squash on there. Let me show you. Ooh, I see one in the back. I planted lots of different kinds of patty pans because that's my favorite kind of summer squash. I think that they taste more like something than just your traditional zucchini, which I thought I'd planted a couple of those too, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. I planted like green scallop, golden Mabry, golden something something, white scallop, lots of scallops. But they're looking good. I've already got a couple rounds of beans picked off my plants, and I bet there's more. There is. Dragon tongue. Bush bean is my favorite. What else? Everything is just looking really green and beautiful after the rain. The day before that I knew that it was gonna rain, so Friday, because I knew, no, it was Saturday. Saturday evening, because I knew rain was coming yesterday on Sunday. I went through and picked, basically the only tomatoes I have ripe are cherry tomatoes right now. My tomatoes are behind this year, but it's fine. They're looking great now. They were sad in the early season. But I went through and I picked all the tomatoes that were blushing, like close to being ripe or ripe, because after a big rain like that, especially after being dry for so long, and on cherries, cherries are the worst about cracking, all of them would have split, like every single one. So I went through and I picked everything that was ripe or close to and took it in the house. Of course they're all gone already because we've been robbed of cherry tomatoes for like a full year, so everybody, that's their favorite thing to snack on. But I'm sure I was going let me show you a fail. So I can't remember what I planted here, but I put a stick. Good job, Kim, you labeled it. So I went through probably a month or more ago and planted in all my bare spaces, like bush beans that I had, what I thought were bush beans, that I had left over from previous years to fill in the space. And something that I thought was a bush bean is actually not a bush bean, and now it's climbing all over everything, and it just goes with my like garden jungle aesthetic that I like to have, so I'm fine with it. But it's climbing up my tomato plants, which I'll have to watch, because if it does drown them out, I pick tomatoes over beans every time, you know I will. So those might have to go, but I think it's funny. Let me show you. So obviously, this bean plant is sending up runners. And they're starting to climb up my trellis, which is fine, but also tomato plants. Look. This one. There's a tomato, and if you look carefully, a bean. And I just looked, and when I was planting all these, I put wooden stakes. It might be in there and I haven't looked hard enough, but I put wooden stakes labeling so that I would know what they were. And the label says Royal Burgundy Bush Bean. And honestly, these are getting tall and sending up runners, but this looks like a Burgundy Bush Bean blossom. It's nice and purple. The ones beside it that are going crazy have pink blooms. So I guess I'll see whenever the beans come because the blooms just started, so we'll be getting beans here in a week or so. But yeah, that's my garden fail. I try to be as like I wanted to say iridescent. That's a nice word for being transparent, because iridescent is kind of transparent and sparkly, which is what I think that I would be. So I've been trying to be iridescent about all my gardening things because I lived so long on YouTube just trying to research and watch everybody and see how they do it and see what works for them and what doesn't work for them. So that I can kind of have that knowledge in my brain and start to make a plan of what I want to do. So I'm going to show you, to the best of my abilities, all of my successes, but also I'm not going to hide the not so successful parts, and just so you don't make the same mistake that I do, or so that next year, because I don't know if you're like me, but in the winter time, when everything is brown and sad and depressing, if you're a dreamer like I am, you're thinking of all the possibilities of next year, and all the things are like, yeah, I can do that, and I can do that, and I can do that, and then the time comes and it doesn't ever work out exactly how you think it's going to, and things are overwhelming, and you just... So this is my little reminder to myself next year, to give yourself a little grace in the wintertime when you're dreaming and all the possibilities are endless and everything is happy in your brain because it's sad outside. But also, I just think that it's okay to have ordinary gardens and ordinary lives. Like, not everything needs to look like Pinterest or all the things on Instagram. I guarantee you, before they set their camera up to take that shot, to take that picture, to take that video, they were like pulling all the ugly weeds out and making sure everything looked beautiful. And I just wanted to be the like reality of like, this is what gardens look like, and this is how life works with animals. It's chaos, it's weedy, it's never perfect, but that's how I like it. Also, what has started in the last couple days are ground cherries. Oh, I dropped it. The best garden treat. And my little Hunter loves these, but honestly, I'm gonna be selfish and not take him any because he keeps eating them all and I get none. Same thing when all the cherry tomatoes were just starting. He would come pick them all and I would have none. So now I've got to keep it a secret. Ooh, I'm getting lots. If you like tomatoes and you're not growing ground cherries, even if you don't like tomatoes, try ground cherries because they are like God's little gift to earth. God's little gift to my taste buds, for sure. Plus, they're super easy to grow. You literally plant them and leave them alone. They don't need as much water as tomatoes do. You don't have to trellis them like tomatoes would. They grow really close to the ground, like low growing, so they keep the weeds down, although mine aren't doing a great job of that. But also, I'm just a bad weeder. I also think that you have to give yourself grace in the seasons of life that you are in. Like the fact that I've had 20 minutes alone right now, and I'm not going to because it's starting to like mist and my camera's gonna have to go inside. But the fact that I've got 20 minutes of peace out here by myself is very rare. Like, all you moms at home, especially you stay-at-home ones, I feel you. It's so overwhelming to be needed all the time and to plus have jobs that you need to accomplish that have like time restraints. I understand your pain and you understand mine, but also know, because I've also got older children, so I understand that everything is a season. This season is really hard. I was just telling this to my husband the other day, and he was starting to worry that I wasn't gonna, he was like, well, gardening is something you really enjoy, don't stop doing it. I was like, I'm never gonna stop doing it. I'm just trying to complain a little that it's really hard right now to keep up with everything that I need to keep up with. Is almost impossible. So you just have to remember that and keep your expectations low and you won't be disappointed. All my Black Beauty tomatoes are looking beautiful. I love this color. You'll find that the really fun, colorful, beautiful, newer tomatoes are always more finicky than like your tried and true, big, old, have been around a long time. Those are always way more sturdy than the new varieties. But I don't care, I'm still gonna grow them because they're beautiful. I grow production tomatoes and beautiful tomatoes. I could never pick one or the other. And you can't make me choose. Ooh, let me show you my favorite tomato plant. I'm about to have to close this video down because it's like misting and I don't want my camera to get ruined. This is my favorite tomato plant. I hope, she's a short girl, but she's really starting to set a lot of fruit now. Let me show you. I don't know if you can tell. This is my first year growing this variety and her name does not disappoint. This tomato variety is called Woolly Kate Yellow and every single thing about her is woolly. Nothing yellow so far. But she's a purple tomato with yellow underneath. It's a her. Everything on it is fuzzy. Like, I love this plant. It is the cutest plant that I have. If you think tomatoes are cute, you belong in my friend group. Anyway, can you tell I'm really happy it rained? I'm very happy it rained. The leaves are furry, the stems are furry, the fruit is furry. I really hope she tastes good because I'm never not gonna grow this. I'm honestly sad I only planted one plant. But when you have 200 tomato plants and you wanna try new varieties, you really only have room to have like 1 or 2 of the new ones, because if they're awful, well, they're not awful. If you don't like them, then they're taking up too much room. I will tell you, you have to be careful. I'm sorry, Mr. B. You have to be careful around the squash patch in the morning. There are so many bees in here, but I see a really perfect sun gold. Bees everywhere. This is really good. Ooh, one last look and then I really gotta go inside. I gotta check my cucumbers. Ooh, gotta be careful in the cucumber patch too. The bees and pollinators love these curcubits. Curcubit? I don't know how to say it. Let me look, hold on. Ooh, Big Mr. Bumblebee. Don't bite me. I didn't see any cucumbers big enough to harvest. They're all just little babies. But the drought was really hard on my cucumbers, and I am gonna be honest, I was not watering them enough. I don't think so. They're slow to take off, but they're really taking off now and everybody's looking happy, so that is good. Okay, well, I'm starting to get rained on now, and I spent too much money on this camera equipment to let it get rained on. Thank you guys for taking a little after the rain garden stroll with me and listening to me blabber on and on. But I hope that you remember that not everything has to look like it does on Instagram. That's not real life. It might be some people's real life, and props to them, but I could never stay up on it that well. So wherever you are, I hope that your gardens look beautiful. I hope you got some rain like I did if you're in a drought. Just remember that it may seem slow right now in the garden, but it is about to go down. We're about to be harvesting buckets of things out of there. So just hold on, canning season is coming. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching me. Every time I post a video, I get so many really nice comments from total strangers that I didn't expect at all when I started this whole YouTube thing. But I just want to let you know that it is so nice of you guys to watch and give advice and words of affirmation and just all of these things that I never thought was going to come out of this YouTube channel. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.